Right. So, I decided to try. And, but it's a bit one of the, the most idiotic YouTuber when it comes to sports. And that's Flightreacts, claiming to have done so many professional things that you would see in the NBA and the NFL at a young age. And here are some examples in this compilation. I will link this compilation in the description, so you can watch it yourself if you want. But that's up to you. So, let's watch this.
Keep it going. Spin move. Oh no, off of me. Get off.
Nice.
Get off of me. The footwork too crispy.
I remember doing that in 5th grade too, but the dude that did it had his camera from his Android stolen.
I got this.
If you shoot your shot, you don't miss.
Why does he have to tell so many lies? No. This could have happened, and this couldn't have happened. But if you search up him, and if you search up if he ever played football or basketball or any type of sports, all you'll find is it saying that he collects the jerseys from those respected sports, and that he actually wanted to be a barber. Whether that is true or not, we don't know, and maybe it is true. I honestly don't really care, because he's found success in YouTube and Twitch. But with success comes what I like to call the lying phase of success. Every man who finds success tends to lie about one tiny thing. And in Flightreacts' case, it's a whole compilation of it. Let's watch some more.
Let me get a heat check, heat check, heat check, heat check, heat check, heat check. Can I get a heat check, heat check, heat check, heat check, heat check. Let's get it, man. Told you that he wasn't gonna last all game doing that bullshit. Let's go. We got it back, and we got 3 points, and we have a chance to score in the game. X, the pass. Bro, I would have caught that, bro. I literally caught a pass like that back in 8th grade. I just didn't have the cameras on at the time.
As mentioned before, there is no proof that he ever played sports in his entire career, and with his 1v1 series of basketball, it's fairly obvious that he wouldn't be good at sports in the first place, even if he did do it at a young age.
Come on, man. How do you not catch that shit?
Tackle made by KJ Wright.
Johnson.
On second down, here's Cunningham.
Got him. Oh my gosh, put your hand out, bro. I would have caught that, man. I caught some type of like tip pass like that before when I was on the ground back in the 8th grade football game. I just didn't
Once again, he's trying to claim that he caught passes like that you would normally see in the NFL, or that would typically not even happen in lower grade games. So, let's also quickly rewatch that to see if it was actually tipped by the defender.
Johnson.
On second down, here's Cunningham.
Got him. Oh my gosh.
I'll even slow it down just a little.
Johnson.
On second down, here's Cunningham.
Got him. Oh my gosh.
He did not, in fact, tip it himself, which, yes, this is a game, but still.
Johnson.
On second down, here's Cunningham.
Got him. Oh my.
Alright, we're going to put this back at normal playback speed, and here's what we just witnessed. It was overthrown, and the probability of catching that with someone behind you is highly low. And he said that he caught something like that in the 8th grade. Now, seeing as the typical weight of an 8th grader is around 125 pounds, and the typical height of an 8th grader is around 5'2", it would be a very big surprise if he did, in fact, catch that.
My gosh, put your hand out, bro. I would have caught that, man. I caught some type of like tip pass like that before when I was on the ground back in the 8th grade football game. I just didn't have the cameras on and shit.
And he didn't have the cameras on. Now, that would be like saying, I try to make something and I don't make it, and I take it from my friend and say, I made it, but I just didn't have the cameras on, or I just don't have the tools I made it with right now. Traditionally, you have evidence of this happening and you should be able to put it in a video. If he did, in fact, do all these things, then someone would have been bound to film it, and he would have had a copy, seeing as, with all of his claims, he would have been a record-setting player. Now, I looked up his real name, and I looked up to see if he had any high school records, and no, he did not. Not one. Yet he claims to be a record-setting player. He even claims to be a part of an elite squadron of some of the NFL's best that never even tried out for the NFL. But here's the problem with that. He's not. He claims to be more agile than DK Metcalf. That's a lie. He has even said that Christian McCaffrey isn't built for the NFL. Christian McCaffrey has biceps and triceps that equal the size of his head. He's built for the NFL. And thus brings us to my next point. He doesn't have an IQ or understanding for the sport at all. He calls the players by the wrong name. And most of the time, he probably doesn't even know who the hell he's using. Right now, he's using Randall Cunningham. But what one is the thing? Does he know that Randall Cunningham played for multiple different teams? He probably doesn't. Does he know Randall Cunningham is meant to be a mobile quarterback? He probably doesn't. Randall Cunningham was known for being a mobile quarterback and being one of the best passing quarterbacks as a mobile quarterback. He's one of the hardest people to beat, especially if you put him in a franchise. Now, he seems to know very well-known players like Barry Sanders and Reggie Bush. Those are 2 running backs, by the way. He also seems to know Lamar Jackson, which he's currently playing, and if you followed football, yes, you would know who he is. But he didn't even know RG3 was still in the league, just because he hasn't seen him since 2010. Let's watch a little bit more of this idiocy, and I'll continue on my tangent of how he doesn't know what's going on.
Wasn't recorded.
Here's Cunningham from the gun. Flush.
2 good chances there for New Orleans as ball pushes pace. What a look to Hayes from
It's my type
Ball.
of pass. I did that type of pass actually in a 7th grade outdoor basketball pickup game. I just didn't have the cameras on at the time.
With a step back throw.
Once again, if it's a pickup game and it's interesting and you're making passes like that, someone is bound to have the camera on and would have bound to have either sent it to you or sent it to someone who would have put it online. Now, since he said that this was in the 7th grade and he is currently 25, and the average 7th grader tends to be... Give me a second, I forgot. I have to do some quick maths real quick. So the average 7th grader is around 12, and if you're making passes like that, someone is bound to try to film it and then even put it online. And back then, YouTube was in fact a thing. I'm pretty sure he is only 25. I'm pretty sure when he was in 7th grade, YouTube was a thing. Anyway, enough of that tangent. Now let's talk about how he barely knows NBA players. He doesn't even try to pronounce the first name of Giannis, and he can't even pronounce the name right. He calls him Akunpo. That is not at all how you pronounce the name, and I find it very disrespectful. Not to mention, he doesn't know who Derrick Henry is apparently, calling him a no-name running back, which is a very big no-no for someone who could run circles around you. Not to mention, you say that you're faster than him, and even though being presented with facts that he is 6'3", I forgot his weight, and can run a 6.5, that's pretty fast, but he still claims to be faster and more agile. He wouldn't last a day in today's NFL. Not to mention, he's calling players weak and scared. The only person scared here is you to step on the field against a real man.
Where's Curry? Oh,
Nice, Curry. Here's
nice.
Curry.
Oh,
Curry, man.
nice.
Nice.
My type of floater too. Nice. And I did that move that Curry has did before too. Definitely have did that move before. You guys have seen me do it. I think in a certain game, IRL, and then
Alright, so this one, kinda true. He can do dribbling moves. That specific one, I have yet to see him do. Behind the back to then push forward and then do a layup, that would be pretty impressive, even for someone with the little skill level of him, who can barely make a three-pointer.
also did this move and completed it with the flutter. I just didn't have the cameras on at the time.
For real.
Yeah, this is a nice move. Like I said, man, I've completed this literally exact move before and finished and everything. I just didn't have the cameras on.
If you listened closely, he said we've seen it. But he didn't have the cameras on. So how would we have seen it if he didn't have the cameras on? Which adds on to the stipulation of him actually making this stuff up and then claiming to have done it. He sees something that he finds cool, he says he's done it, and he hasn't. His playstyle in basketball makes it so he can barely do dribble moves while walking, let alone do that. Not to mention he's claimed that he has finished like that before, doing that move. If we look back at all of his games, he has barely ever finished like that and has been very bad with layups and hooks and anything. He cannot even attack the rim. So that's that point on that. But it gets more stupid. Because he thinks that other people are... He thought Tim Tebow was Jay Cutler. Which is bad, but it's more embarrassing than it is bad. Now, another thing. Yes, he is a Patriots fan, and I don't like that. But I'm not doing this because he is. I'm doing this because of how stupid he is. He acts like he's smart, and he acts like he knows all these things. Like, I don't know a lot about these sports either, but I know enough. I know how to pronounce people's names, I know their names, I know who they are, I know what teams they play for, and I just all around know more than him, and that's 100% agreeable with most people. Most people would know more about the NBA and about the NFL than him. He also probably doesn't even know that some NFL quarterbacks came from the CFL before they made it to the NFL, seeing as if you don't make it to the NFL, you have a high chance to get to the CFL. But back to the thing.
In this case, never even had a chance.
Big. Thank you.
Nice, Dion!
Like those, my type of pick. I had an interception like that back in 7th grade. The problem was that
And here is another thing people that lie do often. I tend to do this to get people to think that I was a football player. I have never played on a football team, but I do know that I would be good for a few positions, and defensive positions are excluded, but I like offense better. I tend to say that I am a running back / wide receiver. He has claimed to be a wide receiver, quarterback, running back, cornerback, middle linebacker, right outside linebacker, left outside line. He's basically said it all. He's basically claimed to be every position there ever was, except for the defensive line and the offensive line.
I had the cameras on.
And might I add, he also always says that he did not have the cameras on. Once again, most high school games tend to be filmed by either the local news or the school itself. And since he's saying middle school, those are something that they also film so they can give copies to their students. And if that's not every high school, well, then maybe he is telling the truth, but still, the internet would end up having a recollection of this.
Okay. I did that type of shot before too over the backboard in 9th grade. Thing is that I didn't have the cameras on at the time.
And this is what I like most about this guy, is that he's so persistent. He has claimed to make a shot that is behind the backboard, but he can't even shoot from in front of it, so once again his claim is now flawed by his own logic and by his own footage.
Social media wasn't as popular.
The spines will stick into a person's...
You know what? I've seen those before. Those would get a little bit familiar, because I think it's set from Florida too. I've seen those a couple times in older apartments and everything in the past. They're like basically one of those types of insects. Like they'll hide in, like, if you live in an area that they exist, they basically like will hide in like your ceiling, and like your closet. They like closet. You know what I'm saying? Like cool, mild room temperature weather. They're like harmless. They don't really do anything. I don't know what he's gonna say. If they never bit me or anything. I've seen them, and I definitely killed a couple of these before. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't have the, you know what I'm saying, the cameras on to show you what the insect looked like in person.
Oh god, this is what makes it worse, is now he's claiming to see things that are on a list called the 10 most dangerous insects alive today. Yes, I read the title because I don't pay attention to what he says because it puts me to sleep half the time. Where do I begin? First of all, most of these animals are fairly rare. So your chances of seeing them are slim. And if he did, someone, meaning him, would have had a camera to film it and be, whoa, what is this? Which is another thing that proves that he is lying.
For the next 12 hours, that person is going to be in incredible pain.
Really?
Pain has been likened to the feeling of a broken bone.
It's wide open going to the rim. That's a good way. How about 2 and 1? Yeah, flex those muscles.
All right, commentator, relax. Get off your knees. Wipe your mouth.
Wide open going to the rim.
But he said, flex those muscles.
Westbrook goes in and Morgan bumps him with the chest.
It's my type of contact finish land. I've made that before in IRL games. I just didn't have the cameras on.
Once again, he has done it in IRL games that he didn't have the cameras on. And if we look at his 1v1 series, he is shit at attacking the rim and will most likely have never done anything like that in his entire life unless he actually put the training in to become better. But there is a possibility. What if this is all theoretical and he acts bad? Now, this is highly doubtful. What if he's good? He's most likely not. But I don't want this to be too long, so I'm going to play a couple more clips, explain what I feel should stop with him and what he should mainly focus on, which is what's working. And then this will all be over, and hopefully it will be all put to bed. So let's continue.
Sometimes when I play 5v5, I don't have the cameras on because I don't have nobody to record.
Set up by
It's a lot of,
9 assists now.
Some people just don't have it giftedly like that. But people like me, I'm going to develop that. Oh, yeah, that was a nice play. That was nice. That was like one of them 2K layups. I did that type of layup before, but the thing was that I didn't have the cameras on. I forgot it at home that day. Just a nice extra shot that went out just on the day. Yeah, I did that before. Like I said, I just didn't have the camera with me.
Trick shot.
Nice. I made that too before. I just didn't have the cameras on.
Lakers winning a championship. Because this is a shot that...
Yo, relax, commentator.
Opposite side. I'm willing to
Dude, it was like the Lakers winning the championship as he makes a fadeaway shot.
That's stellar defense. But
wipe the side of your mouth, commentator.
Smile on his face. I mean, just living for these kind of moments.
I can do that. In fact, I did that before, definitely in 9th grade. I just didn't have the cameras on.
And that's the final clip. But the video is 10 minutes long. We only got to 4 minutes 48 seconds because I don't want this video to be too long. And I'm not trying to use too much of this man's content. So, but anyway. He is also, here's one thing that also shows that he's lying. is he's saying that he definitely did it. Now, most people, they say that they did something, they have proof or not. When you say that you definitely did it and still don't have proof, that makes it more suspicious that you didn't do it. And once again, one way that we can prove that he didn't do it is by watching his 1v1s. He's terrible at attacking the rim, and terrible even at mid-range and 3-point range. He can barely do anything, which is sad. Now, on the off chance he was good, and he actually did stuff in 9th grade, which he most likely didn't, then this could all be discarded and yada yada yada. But, like I said, this isn't how it's working out for him. But anyway, another thing that I don't like about this guy, and then we'll get to what he can do to make it better, and to possibly even rein in more people. 1, he can stop trying to act like he's better than everyone. Because no, you're not better than professional athletes, and you will never be able to beat them in a 1v1 if you can't even beat a person who basketball isn't his main sport at all. Again, the only people he's beaten are people that are way less skilled than him, and that's actually very hard to do. And one person that he's beaten was 14 years old, which is sad. Anyway, now what he can do to change. He can stop telling these lies and saying that he didn't have the camera on, and just straight up either say you have proof of you doing it, or there's no proof of you doing it, and that you didn't actually do it at all. Now, one thing that he could do to probably bring in more people is not clickbait, because a lot of people are going to try to do that. And I'm not saying do clickbait. Don't do clickbait. Clickbait is not something that you want to do, but what he can do is make his content more marketable for more ages, I guess. Seeing as his main demographic, I'm pretty sure, are people either his age or younger than him. And they like the gaming content, but and they also like the rage moments, but come on. Not everyone's gonna like the rage moments, and you're have even more diversity than you already have, and cut out the lies completely. Now, yes, this would make his videos more bland, and one way that he can spice it up is by making challenge videos. Yes, that's right, challenge videos that don't work whatsoever, because most of them are already fixed, and, well, don't work out. That's really all I have to say about that. If you liked the video, leave a thumbs up. If you liked the content that I'm making, I'm going to start a whole series where I'm debunking YouTubers and all that stuff, which is very good and very sweet. I hope y'all enjoy it. And if you don't, you can dislike it. You can even leave a hate comment. I don't care. Do it as you please. But if you like the content, please subscribe. And if you can always change your mind when you want to. It's free. You don't have to pay for anything. And I'll see y'all next time. Until then, still have yet to figure out an outro, but until then, bye.